everybody, this is Marcus of Sinbreed speaking and you're watching Rocknlive. We liked it. I mean, it's one of the songs that is called Shadows already, and we wanted to have a kind of simple name for the album that sticks, and we liked Shadows. I mean, it was a kind of obvious choice for us, so there's no big secret behind it. It's just very simple. We recorded in, at least for me, a rather unusual way, because we did not all together enter one studio and record at the same time. We all have our own studios, and everybody recorded his stuff in his own studio, and then it was put together and mixed then in one big studio. But yeah, everything was done in Germany.
My face is torn in the streets. I am a wanted man for a crime that I didn't commit and never will regret. At night I hear the hounds running wild and free.
Actually, the process started rather early. We played a show in the USA, Prog Power USA, in I think it was 2012. And at that point we had one new song. The song Reborn was done back then already. So that was the first new song that we wrote for the album. And after that we've been lazy. Didn't do much. And at some point we seriously started talking about, hey, we have to do a new album, so we need a couple of songs. And the funny thing is that everybody in the band was sitting down then and writing on music. So each band member contributed. Everybody wrote at least one song, and it was also an unusual way for me that normally I'm not really used on to compose a complete song and only then handing it in and see what the others say to it, if the singer can sing to it or whatever. Normally, from what we do in Blind Guardian, we put together smaller pieces and develop it from there. So that was a rather unusual approach for me, but it worked. And the actual writing of the other songs, apart from Reborn, went rather quickly, I would say, like 2-3 months or something like that, which is for me rather quickly. And recording, we started recording in September, last year September, and we're done by the end of the year, so around 3 months as well.
Once I was one of them, now they're hunting me. Trapped in fire, burning rage, in a world of sin. Demons start to take control, let the games begin.
I don't think the lyrics, I have to say I don't write any lyrics. I'm not a lyric guy, I'm a guitar guy. But you know, you can kind of transfer this rebirth to Sinbreed, because obviously with me coming into the band, the lineup changed a bit, and you know, fresh energy. It's a kind of, yeah, it is a kind of rebirth for the band. We're focusing on Sinbreed. We wanted to do this album, which will be released in about 4 weeks. Focus now is on doing some gigs, so we are just talking about time frames when we can be active with Sinbreed, because obviously Frederick and me have to match the Sinbreed time schedule with the Blind Guardian time schedule, and Blind Guardian will be active this year too. We'll play some shows, so in the moment we're just figuring out when we can tour with Sinbreed, and we'll focus on getting the tour or gigs or whatever then, and we really want to push this.
Vengeance for what once befell, for your vicious deed. You can run but you can't hide. I will not rest till you bleed.
I always use Gibson Les Pauls. That's my favorite guitar ever since I bought my first one, and I think I will never ever touch a different guitar. That's something that just feels right for me. You know, I think I played all kinds of guitars. I played ESP guitars for many years. I played different shapes, from Super Strut shapes to Randy Rhoads shapes to whatever. But when I picked up my first Les Paul, it just felt right. And I have a lot of Les Pauls by now, and they're all just, you know, I sometimes change pickups, but that's pretty much the only thing I'm messing with, just to get different sounds. Otherwise, this is the perfect guitar for me. I wouldn't know, you know, there's a custom shop just like 20 minutes away from where I live that takes care of my guitars when there's something to fix. But I wouldn't have anything that I wanted them to change to make it different, because that's just the ideal guitar for me. So it's always Les Paul for me. I experimented a bit. My main and favorite amplifier is the Mesa Boogie Triple Rectifier. I've been using those amps ever since actually they came out in whenever in the middle of the 90s, 94, 93, I don't remember exactly. So that's my main amplifier, but I also have an Fractal Audio XFX, which sounds amazing and offers like I think 100 something different amplifier sounds. So I was experimenting a bit with different amps, and I think in the end we also used a couple of different amps for the album. We used rectifiers, we used some Engel amps, we used Flo's, what is it called, La Boga amp. So some songs just demand different sounds, so it's not the same amplifier for each of the songs. Just depending on what the song demanded, we adjusted the sound. The cover was done by a guy called Felipe Machado, who also did the first Sinbreed cover, who also worked for the last couple of Blind Guardian covers. He's an amazing artist. I'm really happy with the cover. The story about it is based on the song Shadows, title track, so it makes sense to adjust the cover to also the title track. And as I said, he's a great guy. He's easy to work with. You know, you give him a topic and he immediately understands what you want him to do. And if you want corrections to be done, if something develops into a kind of direction that you're not too happy with, he immediately you know, adjusts things. It's very easy to work with him, even though he's living in South America, so it's not that you can walk over to him and say, can you do this or that. It's all done over the internet, but it's very, very nice to work with this guy. I wanted it to be different because for me it doesn't make sense, you know, obviously I'm in Blind Guardian since day one, and for me it was always obvious that if I should ever do something aside of Blind Guardian, it should be different, because for me it doesn't make sense to form a second band and play the very same things that I play with Blind Guardian. So my approach for songwriting with Sinbreed now was different than it would have been with Blind Guardian. I tried to, on purpose, avoid everything that sounds like Blind Guardian, that I would normally do, like layers of lead guitars, stacking, and choir arrangements and all that stuff. I tried to avoid everything that people would consider to be a trademark of Blind Guardian sound. So what I, in the end, did is I kind of stripped down the songs, and my writing was much more straight and focused to the core than I would do it with Blind Guardian. And Frederick actually did the same. Also the song that he wrote for Shadows doesn't sound anything like Blind Guardian, which is important in my opinion, because obviously people will compare both bands, because half of Blind Guardian is also playing in Sinbreed, so the comparison is obvious. And as I said, for us it was important not to become a kind of Blind Guardian clone or follow-up or anything like this. Sinbreed is a different band, it is supposed to sound different, it does sound different, and that's how we wanted it to be. So, as I said, the approach for me definitely was different. Timing-wise, obviously, I mean, Blind Guardian for Frederick and me is the main band, and this means that Sinbreed can only be active when Blind Guardian is at home, not touring, not in the studio recording. But since Blind Guardian is not on the road all the time, that's not really a problem. We'll be active with Sinbreed this year for sure, and we'll also for sure be on the road with Blind Guardian next year. So next year there won't be any Sinbreed shows, but once the Blind Guardian tour will be done, we'll jump back to Sinbreed and continue. So more gigging for us, that's good.
Fire, burning rage in the world of sin. Demons start to take control. Let the games begin. Vengeance for what once befell. For your vicious
I don't know if it's gonna be soon. As I said, we have to match time schedules between Blind Guardian and Sinbreed now. We obviously will wait for the album to be released, which will be, I think, 28th of March next month. And we're scheduling possibilities in the moment. So we will tour, yes, I just don't have any dates yet. So they will be announced as soon as we have them, and that's the next thing we have to work on. But there will be definitely as many shows as possible this year.
You can't run, but you can't hide. I will not rest till you bleed.
Yes, the message is check out the album. I think it's worth it. I hope you like it, and we'll try everything to come to France as soon as possible, because we know there's some crazy people here who are into good heavy metal. I hope to see you guys soon.
Till you bleed.